Hi there. Today I wanted to discuss the fear of failure and showing up. What I've actually seen with this is that a lot of times when people come to work, not only with just me, but business coaches, business strategists, a lot of times one of the key components that someone isn't seeing success in their business isn't because they don't know what to do to be successful, or isn't because they don't know the systems or the process. A lot of it has to do with the fear of failure, fear of showing up, and so today I wanted to go over what to do and some tips if you're there, as well as some mindset shifts you can make if you're currently in this place so that you can get going on your business and really show up to be able to make those sales and get those clients in. All right, so just an introduction here. If you don't show up, you won't succeed. So think about a business and what makes it successful. So a lot of people define success in business by the amount of income you're bringing in. And of course, there's a lot of other factors that play into the business, which are like if you're passionate about what you're doing, if your clients are getting great results, the transformation you're providing. But in terms of just strictly speaking, monetarily here, what you need to do is make sales. So if you have this really great product or really great service that you can help people with and you're not showing up, no one knows about it. No one knows that it's even there. So therefore, no one can buy it. Therefore, you're left feeling like you've done something wrong, or you're a failure, or your business isn't successful. And yet, really the only key component there is that people don't know about it. And so they're not buying it. So if you don't show up, you won't succeed. And so by showing up, we're allowing people to make the decision of if they want our services or not. It is necessary to face discomfort to achieve success in business. So unless you're someone who is very naturally good and loves selling, loves social media, loves getting in front of people and doing presentations and everything, it is gonna be a little bit uncomfortable, especially in the beginning when you're first starting it. But as I said, I'll go over some ways to minimize this and just make you feel comfortable in the process. But just know that for most people starting a business, it is normal to feel uncomfortable. And it's actually a good thing if you are showing up despite that and you're willing to walk through that uncomfortableness in order to get to your success. And the other thing I'll say is when studying successful people in business last year, what I did find is that those who have these really big companies and are really doing some great work in the world have so much content. Like, I think that when I looked at what I had versus what they had, the biggest difference wasn't necessarily mindset. It wasn't necessarily intelligence. It wasn't necessarily that they had some secret formula. Really, the secret formula is people who are successful. They just put out so much content. They put out so much information that, of course, you're going to find them. Of course, you're going to want to work with them. And what they do is very clear to you, and how they can help you is very clear as well. And you're left being like, how do I pay this person because I want to learn more, versus, in that state of, do I want to work with them? Don't I want to work with them? Their free content has already helped you. So of course you want to work with them. Okay. So first of all, let's dive into the pain of not making progress. So when you think about both scenarios, you could think of, what if I 100% show up? And in that case, you might feel uncomfortable in certain times. There might be no one viewing your content. You even might get those like mean comments. However, there's the other side of, if you're not willing to go through that, you don't get to build this business and you don't get to help people. And so the pain of not showing up, I think personally, is even greater than the pain of showing up. So in my business, it's taken a long time for me to really want to create content and really want to put myself out there. But I've recognized that even though, certain scenarios of that may feel not the best, I also know the flip side of having a business and not giving it my all, and, not being able to go on that vacation that I wanted to, or not being able to help my family members when I wanted to, or not being able to live where I wanted to. And for me, that was more uncomfortable than it is to do things like give a presentation or make a thumbnail in Canva or something like that. So you do have to step out of your comfort zone to create an income and a business, whether you are a coach, a freelancer, anything is going to require you to get out of your comfort zone a little, learn something new, show up, market your services, and sell. The other thing is that fear of failure often leads to failure. So I found this really profound, and I'm not sure why, because it makes sense. What you focus on is what you're getting in your life. But just by being paralyzed of not doing something right, we're setting ourselves up for failure. So a lot of times in the past, I didn't post because I was like, ooh, like the copy is just not right, or the picture is not there. Or even with these YouTube videos, like I know that there's more that I could be doing to make these successful, but I just have to take that first step and just post these and take the messy action. And of course it improves over time. And so if we're afraid of taking that step because we're going to fail, then we're failing by default because we're not actually putting something out there and trying. And we learn so much more and we gather so much more data from sending the message, from posting the content, from pricing something. Even if it's the wrong price, you'll learn like, oh, okay, no one buys at this price. I just need to adjust that. Okay, the other thing is if you've been stressing this whole video, please note that it does get easier. So the first pieces of content and videos, I think feel the hardest, but it does get easier. So one of the things that I had a really hard time with when I was starting my business is going live on social media. That made me so uncomfortable because you can't edit it. You can't, if you stumble across your words, someone's watching. The other thought I had in my head is, what if no one shows up? Like, wouldn't that be super embarrassing? So many thoughts in my head, right? And so what I did is I actually made myself go live every single day for 2 weeks in a Facebook group. So I took down I guess the scary factor by not going live necessarily on my personal page, but doing it somewhere where I felt comfortable, which was in my group. So everyone who was in my group opted in to be there. Everyone was in business, so it felt more comfortable for me. And I told myself it's fine if no one is watching. Like literally, if I have 0 people on my live stream, it's okay because it's a piece of content that will live in this group and people can watch the replay. And to be honest, I don't think I had very many people show up live during this time period. However, I will say that I converted a client just by showing up live for 14 days and she was able to see what I was doing and thought that it sounded really cool and wanted to do a discovery call with me and then wanted to work with me. And I think that just gave me confirmation that not only the energetics of putting yourself out there, you're going to get that in return, but also people are curious of what you're doing. And if you keep showing up, they're going to keep wanting to know about your services. And so that was a big eye opener for me. And I do think that after the 2 weeks, I don't go live a lot, but I'm no longer super intimidated by it because I just forced myself to get through it. And so, like I said, it does get easier. The other thing I'll say is find a natural and authentic way to show up. So if you like showing up in your Facebook group, then do that. If Instagram is more your place and you want to go live with someone else, do that. If you don't want to show your face on video, you can still make amazing content. So far, my YouTube channel, I've made mostly presentations. I don't think I've done like a live. And by live, I mean just like face to camera. And it's not that I'm not willing to, it's just that I find these presentations super easy to create, super easy to show up to. I'm able to give so much great advice and it doesn't require me, like getting all dressed up, making sure I have the perfect background. And in the future, I hope to incorporate that in my videos, honestly, because I know that that does help get more views. But for now, building this community, just being able to get my content out there, like this is natural and authentic to me because I think that people want to see presentations and behind the scenes of the tools I'm using in terms of software. And so if there is a natural and authentic way for you to show up, do that. If it's just text, have a Facebook group. or use threads. If it's pictures that you feel really aligned with, use Instagram to show up. If it's video, do video. But it's something that you're going to have to stay consistent with. And so find the most authentic and natural way to show up and just keep going with that. And I think that's the best advice I could give you is you don't have to do what your friend's doing or what the business owner next to you is doing. There are so many paths to success. So choose the one that feels great to you and just keep going with it. Which leads me to the third point of consistency actually builds the confidence that you need. So the more you're able to do it, the more confident you will be in doing it. And it just gets easier and easier over time, and your efforts compound over time. So if you have this page full of content that is valuable, people will find it in the future. And then when someone is looking to work with you, you have this whole vault of content, and it just compounds amongst each other. And so I really like that aspect of things too, that it does get easier and your results will compound over time. Okay, so taking action and asking. So stepping out of your current situation and create opportunities. So what is it that you haven't been doing that you know you really need to do? Is that creating content? Is that just asking for the sale? Is that sending some messages? Is that like, what is that for you? And I'll leave you with this tip as well. If you don't ask, the answer will always be no. So if you know that someone's really great for your program or service and you've never invited them, just go for it. Like, the worst thing they could do is say no when you're in the situation that you are in right now. But if you don't go for it, then you'll never know. And some people actually don't even know about your program or service. It's funny. I feel like I post about what I do all over the place. And yet the majority of people I talk to are like, what do you do? What services do you offer? So if we're talking about it, we're still probably not talking about it enough. All right, so promote your products and services, reach out to people, get yourself out there. That's how you're going to grow your business. That is how you're going to make sales. And focus on your purpose. So as you're doing this, despite the fear of failure that you may have, despite not wanting to show up, focus on the dream you're creating and your purpose, because this makes it a lot easier. If you can start your day before your tasks or before doing that thing that you don't want to do, and you say, okay, like, I know that I want to grow this business because I want to go on this vacation. Like, envision that vacation while you're doing it. Or I know I want to grow my business because it can impact someone else in this way. Like, visualize that. Even helping one person through showing up is worth it to me. I think that even changing like one life, providing one transformation, if that is all it is, and that's huge. Like, I think that we think about trying to hit 10,000 people or all of this, but what if just one person's impacted by what you're doing? What if you create a video on YouTube and one person watches it, but it's exactly what that one person needed to hear? I think that that's phenomenal. And I think that's the beauty of creating content. And stay motivated and inspired by your greater mission. So if you need to pin that to the wall above your computer, if you need to have that on your desktop, if you need to just watch a video or get inspired before you're doing this, do that. I have found that actually consuming the right content or consuming the right trainings before my workday or before filming a video helps 10,000%, because you're in that state of confidence and inspiration and motivation. So do whatever you need to in order to stay motivated. And I hope this presentation helped. I think the other thing that I hadn't mentioned is overcoming hesitancy. So just take the leap and start showing up. You never know what's going to happen. You'll gain more data by doing this. If you send, 200 emails, like, you're going to know what your audience likes and what they don't like. You're going to know who is clicking. You're going to know so much more data than if you don't send the emails. So join supportive communities for encouragement. I found a lot of support in that, just because if I have other people who are doing it alongside of me, or I know that certain groups are a safe space to post, I'm more likely to do it. memberships, communities, they're amazing. They will help gain that confidence in you, and you'll be able to create relationships there and people who will be your cheerleader, which you do need. And don't compare your progress to others. Everyone starts unsure. Everyone starts at 0 followers. Everyone starts at $0 in their business. So if someone else is doing something that they can stay in their lane, you stay in your lane. And if you are consistent and you keep showing up, success will come. You can study it over and over and over again. Look at the people that you admire and see where they started. And they also probably were in a similar position to you. So I hope this presentation helped. I hope that, you are feeling better about showing up. And even if you're not, that just knowing that it gets easier and maybe taking some steps to be able to motivate yourself and doing it in a way that you can feel comfortable with and just build as you get more confident. So thank you so much for watching. If you have a business, if you're looking to have a business, please subscribe. I'm making a lot of content right now for freelancers, lead gen specialists, business owners, business coaches. And so it would mean a lot if you subscribe right now. I have a pretty small community, which is great because you're getting all the resources for free. And if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up so I can make more content like it. And so you could see more content like this as well. So thanks so much for watching and see you in the next video.